Добрий день.
Good afternoon. So are we ready? Yeah, we are ready. We are to start. I'd like to welcome here in Ukraine Media Center. And today we are working for you. I'd like to remind you that we have been supported by the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, Ministry of Internal Affairs. I would also like to thank the Skyloft Hotel where we are located, and to thank the whole team which has been working on those briefings. Today, right now, I'd like to introduce our next speaker. He will tell you everything about how the state emergency service works during the martial law. Gennady, Gerasimchuk, you're welcome. Gennady Gerasimchuk is the colonel of the State Emergency Service. Gennady, I'd like to ask you to cover first of all the current situation and the latest events, and then to tell us a bit about evacuation of civilians, situation with those explosive items and so on. Thank you. Thank you. During the day, the main efforts of units of the State Emergency Service have been aimed at the following: rescue of people, eliminating fires, extinguishing fires, and elimination of other consequences of shelling in towns and villages, helping the civilians and local authorities in evacuation steps. State Emergency Service units within the day did more than 800 field trips, including more than 320 to eliminate consequences of shelling of civilian infrastructure in towns done by Russian troops. 53 persons have been rescued. On average, during the day, our fire and rescue units have about 650 trips. Our explosive experts have been engaged more than 90 times. They eliminated 50 kilograms of explosives and cleaned more than 2 hectares area. On the total, since the start of this war, 2,400 explosive items have been handled, including 379 aviation bombs, and more than 18 hectares have been cleaned. The enemy continues doing rocket and artillery shelling against infrastructure facilities in villages and towns. In particular, today, since 4 a.m., there has been mass-scale shelling in the city of Kyiv, which resulted in destruction and fires in Svetoshinsky, Darnitsky, Podilsky, and Shevchenkivsky districts. Currently, rescue operation is continuing in Chernobylska Street, where, as a result of a 16-story building being shelled, there has been significant destruction of that building, followed by fire from the first to the 16th floor. Units of the State Emergency Service have saved 46 persons, and unfortunately 2 people have died, and the operations continue. The rest of fires in Kyiv caused by shelling from invading forces have already been eliminated by our rescuers, and according to our tentative information, no one died in those other places. 1 person has been saved and hospitalized to a medical institution. Also, during this last night, because of shelling in the city of Kharkiv, there were 2 large-scale fires, one of them in the territory of the central street market, at about 2,500 square meters, and it has already been eliminated on the roof of the dermatology dispensary, and the fire has been localized. The operation, the mission continues. Those fires in the city of Kharkiv resulted in no one dying or injured. Also, our units continue rescue operations in sites previously destroyed by enemy shelling. Say, during the last day in the city of Kharkiv, there have been 4 addresses handled, and 1 person has been saved and rescued, and 2 dead bodies have been found. Since the beginning of that work, 12 sites have been completely processed, 46 people have been saved, 10 people have been evacuated, and 54 dead bodies have been found. Search and rescue operations have been continuing in Antopil village in Rivne district. By now, our units have saved 9 people, and 18 dead bodies have been found. At the border checkpoints in Zakarpattia, Volyn, Chernivtsi, and Lviv Oblast, our service, jointly with the Red Cross Society of Ukraine and local authorities, has helped more than 3,000 people. The State Emergency Service has deployed 83 tents to provide people with heating, and assistance has been provided to more than 287,000 people. Currently, 1,015 towns and villages have no electricity. And to provide electricity, the State Emergency Service has engaged mobile electricity supply generators, which provide electricity, first of all, to hospitals. The State Emergency Service has been providing assistance to the civilian population, including assistance with drinking water, for example, in Zakarpattia province, and technical water in Donetsk, Poltava, and Luhansk provinces. 122 tons of foodstuffs have been transported, 120 in Donetsk province and 2 tons in Luhansk province. Unfortunately, because of combat operations, 17 State Emergency Service officers have died, 32 have been injured, and 1 person is a prisoner of war. 1 person who was accompanying the buses evacuating people has been imprisoned by Russian invaders, and that officer has now been kept there. And now, unfortunately, our officer was returning from his shift in Brovary district. He was cycling there, and he was shot dead by Russian invaders. Currently, to carry out our assignments, we have 14,000 people on duty around the clock and 3,000 units of special fighting and rescue equipment. About the results of shelling by Russian troops in cities and villages. According to information we received from military civilian administrations as a result of military operations by Russian invading troops in Ukraine, 460 facilities have completely been destroyed, and 3,150 critical infrastructure sites have been partially destroyed. First of all, transport infrastructure, education, health facilities, residential buildings, utilities, social facilities, and other sites. Units of the State Emergency Service, jointly with military civilian administrations, have recovered in such social facilities 1,690, restored 1,690 windows, including windows in 5 hospitals. That's basically it. Now I'm ready to answer your questions, if any. If there are questions, there are no questions. So thank you, Gennady. Dear friends, dear journalists, I'd like to draw your attention to the fact that the Ukraine Media Center has also started operations in Lviv, in city of Lviv. So please watch our news. We will keep you informed of all activities and events planned. Thank you for being with us.